softball games this Saturday. How people are working around the clock to get that park ready.
Well, temperatures cooling off into the 70s and low 80s out there, but it's still a little bit humid over a chunk of the viewing area, though the less humid air will gradually come in tonight. We'll talk more about how long that's going to last and when we'll get more heat, more humidity, and storms back in here next.
You're watching News 18 at 6. News from where you live.
Good evening, I'm Samantha Tiki.
And I'm Jeff Smith. Thanks for joining us. Our top story this evening, the suspect in a shooting that left a Terre Haute police officer dead now faces a federal charge of murder. Authorities
identified the suspect as 44-year-old Shane Meehan. Our sister station WTHI confirmed that Meehan previously ran for mayor in Terre Haute in the last election. According to court documents, Meehan pulled up next to the gate of the FBI resident agency building near the Vigo County Courthouse. Documents say he threw a Molotov cocktail toward the building. Greg Ferenczi walked out of that building. Authorities say that's when Meehan shot him. Court documents say FBI Special Agent Ryan Lindgren ran out and engaged Meehan in a gunfight. Officials say Meehan was wounded before he took off in his truck. Law enforcement officials later found Meehan at a Terre Haute hospital where he underwent surgery for 2 gunshot wounds. Terre Haute Police Sean Keene says Ferenczi always gave 110%.
He was actually my neighbor right before I came on the police department. You'll not meet a finer person. You don't spend 30 years in this profession without being dedicated, and he was absolutely dedicated.
Ferenczi leaves behind 2 adult children. Since Ferenczi is a federal officer, the FBI will lead the investigation into the shooting. The Clinton County Sheriff's Office says it's investigating the death of 2 people in Mulberry in a murder-suicide.
Sheriff Rich Kelly says they both had gunshot wounds, as we previously reported. Police say 57-year-old Robert Keith Lipset and 42-year-old Carrie Hazelbaker were found dead in a home on South Elm Street on Tuesday. They were both residents of Mulberry. The Clinton County coroner's not released the manner of their deaths. Deputies with the Clinton County Sheriff's Office say they found the bodies during a welfare check. News 18 did reach out to the Clinton County coroner, but have not yet heard back.
In about a week, 5 people have died in 3 car crashes in Clinton County.
And News 18's Joe Paul spoke with law enforcement today, and as well as one of the residents who lives near one of those fatal crashes. He now takes a look at what authorities are doing to try to make those roadways safer.
I'm at the intersection of County Roads 300 North and 700 East in Clinton County, and this is where yet another person died in a fatal car crash. It's the most recent in a string of deadly accidents that have happened in Clinton County in about a week. Police say a driver ignored this stop sign and hit another car on State Road 75. It was the first in a series of fatal car crashes across Clinton County. Nearby resident Jaden Brown says this county road is a popular detour around a recent road closure.
You'll see semi-trucks going down it, cars going flying down it. The traffic has really amped up a lot.
It would be nice if there was an easy explanation for it.
Clinton County Sheriff Richard Kelly is left wondering, why here?
But I don't think it's engineering. I don't think it's, the detours in the area of State Road 26.
Alcohol and unfastened seatbelts were factors in at least one crash. Kelly says they were all preventable.
Whether you're sleepy, whether you're tired, if you've had a few alcoholic drinks, things like that, better decisions can be made to create a whole lot safer roadway for everybody else.
The spate of deadly car crashes has been taxing for first responders.
You can see it in the eyes of the responders. You can see it in their posture that as the hours crept up on this scene, it really weighed heavily on them, mentally, physically.
Police are adding extra patrols to the detour area.
So here at the intersection of 75 and 700, I've seen a cop parked there the past 2 or 3 days in a row.
That could mean more traffic citations and hopefully fewer tragedies.
Our deputies are on a standing order that if you have downtime, you're in that area.
Staff members with the Clinton County Sheriff's Office says their thoughts are with the families of the victims impacted by these car accidents. They also want to thank all the other first responding agencies for their help and support when responding to these crashes. Reporting in Clinton County, Joe Paul, News 18.
In this week's Fugitive Search, Lafayette police are looking for a suspect named James Dedamore III. He's accused of committing crimes including robbery and theft. Anyone with information on James Dedamore's whereabouts is asked to contact Lafayette police or the anonymous We Tip hotline at 1-800-78-CRIME.
A Purdue expert is working on ways to stop ransomware attacks before they happen. The most recent attack was last weekend. It affected companies by targeting their software vendor, Casilla. The hackers then demanded a ransom of $70 million. Purdue expert Santiago Torres Arias is working to establish new solutions in cybersecurity. Those include the field of software supply chain. That helps businesses run product development, sourcing, production, and logistics.
The goal is for us to provide threat intelligence to all of the software consumers so that they can better make decisions as consumers. But we can also talk with vendors to say, well, you may be the next target. You need to start moving now.
Torres Arias says another reason we're seeing this more often is due to a lack of regulations. He says there is also a lack of a way to enforce them.
Well, the first softball games at the new Abbey and Libby Memorial Park will be played this Saturday. News 18's Peter Hewlett stopped in Delphi today to give us a preview of what we can expect with first pitch.
After years of planning, the first softball games are going to be played on Saturday morning at the Abbey and Libby Memorial Park outside Delphi. Before they can be played, volunteers are working tirelessly to get the park ready, says park president and grandfather of Liberty German Mike Patty.
There's tiresome days, but you know, think about why we're doing this. It's not about me. It's not about us. It's about the girls, you know, and creating a legacy for them in a memorial park and something for all the other kids and families to come and enjoy.
While the park isn't complete yet, there will be enough infrastructure in place to host games. Patty says it's a chance for players to get a taste of what it will be like.
We said, you know, hey, this is a good opportunity to catch some of those girls before they move on to, you know, collegiate ball or whatever they do in high school and different things. So this gives them a good chance to come here and play for all the support they've been giving us.
Eric Erskine is the grandfather of Abigail Williams and has been working around the clock to get the park ready. He's been dreaming of the day the first pitch would be thrown.
You know, I thought a lot what it's going to sound like, you know, when that umpire says play ball. And because, you know, it's been, you know, over 3 years.
Around 50 teams will play in this year's tournament. The goal is for each one to get a game at the new fields. And for everyone who will be there, Erskine says it will be a memorable morning.
Yeah, it's going to be very emotional. You know, I can imagine from the families, there'll be a lot of tears shed that morning.
In Delphi, Peter Hewlett, News 18.
And Patty says the park should be completely finished towards the end of this summer. A grand opening will be scheduled when it's ready.
Well, we've had a wild day weather-wise across the greater Lafayette area, and especially here at our station. We were struck by lightning twice this morning. That's why you didn't see us most of the morning on News 18 at noon. We apologize for that.
Yeah, so thanks for the patience. And Chad actually rewound the tape and took a look at what actually happened to us this morning at 5:30. And he's got a look at that. Chad?
Yeah, no severe weather, just a regular thunderstorm in summer with a lot of lightning associated with it. This was at 5:15 this morning. Right there's your storm, and it wasn't just one, it was another one that followed it. So two storms moved over the West Lafayette area this morning, and it was that zone from Montmorency and Greater Lafayette over towards Rossville. That band was hit the hardest with heavy rainfall because a lot of places saw very little, if any, rainfall early this morning. You can see right now, though, any showers and storms are out of here, but there's that band right across northern Tippecanoe County, northern Clinton County, and totals varied from 1/10 of an inch at Brookston to some places 1, 2, 2.5 inches in parts of Greater Lafayette. Even had 3 reported at Shadeland and 3 over here near Buck Creek. But notice the difference. Montmorency 2.5 inches, Round Grove 1/10 of an inch, and even from Buck Creek to Delphi, totals went from 2 1/4 inches to only about 1/3 of an inch of rain. So big difference in rainfall, the haves and the have-nots this morning. 67 by 11 o'clock tonight with a lot of clouds around, wind north-northeast, and then overnight we'll see a little patchy fog and the smoke comes back in. Some heat relief, but weekend showers and storms. The sun and smoke will play a factor on whether we get severe weather and just how much. And then Ring of fire pattern, what's that? And what's it mean for us? We'll show you coming up.
Thank you, Chad. Dozens of Lafayette staff and students are spending this week focusing on friends, fun, and feelings. The corporation has kicked off its first ever social and emotional learning summer camp. News 18's Micah Upshaw reports why students and teachers say it's already having a positive impact.
So far, I've learned a lot. To be respectful.
How to de-stress.
That friends are important.
To calm down when I need to, so now I have calming down skills.
Meditation, Tai Chi, arts, and dog therapy are just a few of the many ways Lafayette School Corporation staff and students are learning these skills. This social and emotional learning summer camp is serving kids from 1st to 8th grade. The goal? Finding positive ways to deal with different emotions.
Not just helping students just know what they're feeling and why they're feeling it. And I learned as a teacher, if students are going through something, they're not in a place where they can learn.
Lindsay Noonan is a 7th grade language arts teacher at Tecumseh Junior High. She's been helping organize this camp for the past 2 years. With all these various hands-on activities, she's hoping students will find what works for them.
One strategy that might work really well for my mental health, maybe it doesn't work really well for somebody else, and vice versa. So we want the kids to know that they can kind of pick and choose different things that work out really well for them.
She's also hoping it breaks the stigma of what it looks like to take care of your mental health.
You can play while helping mental health. It's not supposed to be this serious, somber thing. It's not, just like therapy. You can play and have fun and check in with yourself.
Good boy. I thought it was going to be like a bunch of exercise, like camp, but it's actually been really, really fun.
I just think about these kids going into the workforce someday and having all of these tools. Yes, all these memories from such a fun week, but I really just hope they walk away with just awesome tools and strategies.
Reporting in Lafayette, Micah Upshaw, News 18.
This camp included 65 students and 13 teachers. This year, teachers spent the school year choosing students they feel would benefit from the camp most, but all students were welcome to attend.
Well, Food Finders gets a boost to help more people in need. How a $20,000 grant will improve that organization's services.
And after 16 months, the Lilly Nature Center reopens its doors. We'll tell you about the center's newest features when we come back.
You're watching News 18 at 6. News from where you live.
A $20,000 grant is giving food finders the chance to give to even more people in need.
It comes from the Bayer Fund. The money will allow 12 new mobile food pantries across north central Indiana. That gives the food pantry a total of 32. Now each county it serves will have 2 mobile pantries a month instead of just 1. CEO Katie Bunder says it can help families rest a little easier during hard times.
This way they can count on getting 40 to 50 pounds of nutritious food, including produce and meat, and count on taking that home to their household.
Food Finders Food Bank previously received a Bayer Fund grant in 2020 for the mobile pantry program.